Hey, Facebook Live, it's your girl, Dr. V. Great morning, great morning, great morning. Happy Saturday, happy Sabbath. Super excited to be with you guys this morning in the Big Apple. Yay! I'm loving it, I'm loving it, I'm loving it. So, you guys, come on in, come on in. Come on in. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I didn't get a chance to really go live yesterday, so I wanted to go live today and just share with you guys. Hey, Dr. Carter, how my weekend started on Thursday has been and what's been going on. You guys may have seen some pictures from the photo shoot, not necessarily photo shoot, but from the setup for the photo shoot. Hey, Miss Carolyn, how are you, gorgeous? I wanted to share a little bit about that entire experience, you guys, because I think sometimes we see the pictures and we think the pictures tell the whole story, but they don't, right? And so there's so much that goes on behind it, behind the scenes, all of that. And I wanted to share some of that with you all because I want you to get your mind prepared for what God is going to do next. So I want you to watch what God does next, but I want you to get your mind prepared for it. Hey, James, how are you? Yes, yes, yes. So you guys, listen, it was a long, long day, long day, long day yesterday. And I'm just getting up. I want to make sure that I've got the necessary energy for what's about to happen. So I wanted to wait for you guys so we could just take a shot together. I'm ready for my shot, you guys. First of all, let me tell y'all, this is when you know that you have a twin, right? Sharita Leone is truly my twin because listen, she was like, you need to bring your own valet 30. Because listen, neither one of us likes to share. So listen, I got to get my liquid shot in, my liquid vitamin. Oh my God. And it is a 2-shot kind of day, you guys, just in recovery mode from all that's gone on. Amazing. I love the taste of it. So let me talk to you guys about watching what God does next. I'm going to be real transparent with you because I think it's important that as people take journeys, that there's someone who's willing to be transparent so that people don't think they're crazy. A lot of times you look at where people are and you think they've always been there. You think, that it's always been like that. You think that it was easy getting there, but that's not the case, right? And so I wanted to take a minute and come on and I wanted to share with you guys, as you watch what God does next, I need you to be an active and willing participant in that, which means that it's going to cost you some things, right? It's going to cost you some things. It's going to cost you your comfort. It's going to cost you some relationships. It's going to cost you some time. It's going to cost you some space. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. It is a necessary part of the process. You can never get to success without it costing you something. Success is not free. Even though it looks like people just woke up one day and they were there. It's like the Beyonce videos. I woke up like this. I woke up like this, flawless. Well, I woke up like this because this is the beat from yesterday. And then I still had to touch it up because, honey, listen, it was a lot of makeup. So listen, when you think about what God is getting ready to do next in your life, I need you to understand it's going to require you to make some changes. Now, those changes won't be easy and they will cost you, okay? But they'll be worth it. I don't know if you guys have seen, I've had a lot of changes lately. Oh my God. This one little eye right here. Y'all see that? Because I probably sleep like this. Trying to keep my face together. But I've made a lot of changes over the past 3 weeks. A lot has changed in my life, and it's been quick, it's been fast, and it has been costly, but it's also been necessary. And so when you look at people and you see things changing in their life, I need you not to judge it, right? Don't judge the change because you don't know what was going on behind the scenes. You don't know. It looks sporadic, but it's not sporadic, right? There are actually things that lead up to it. And people who are good at so I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Sometimes we get good at making the best of our lives and valuing and appreciating where we are, no matter what's going on. I'll say it like that. But know this, know that change when it's necessary It comes, and it either comes willingly or it comes violently. I prefer willing change over violent change any day, just because we don't have to allow things to get really bad and mean and ugly in order to create change. And I'm talking about change in friendships, relationships, on the job, change with our children. Like, even with our children, we have to allow them the space to grow and to be the adults that they are or the young people that they are growing into, by giving them some space to make decisions and choices and things like that. Now, you need to understand this. Why? Because as God begins to change things in your life, you need to know that it's going to cost you. And it's not all going to be fun, and it's not going to be easy, but there's going to be some pain involved. I recently was talking to a friend, and I was talking about, wow, I said everything new, right? And they responded and they said the pain of everything new, because there's pain associated with change. There is, you guys. Listen, know that. But when you watch what God does next, baby, it's an amazing thing. It's an incredible thing. So I was thinking about it, and while I've been here in New York, like, it's been an amazing experience, just having a chance to just be in a different environment, a more fast-paced environment. Tampa is, kind of slow, and I'm kind of slow, so we go together well. Because I would be just as content just being in the house. Like, I love being in the house. I'll do my little work, I'll go to the school, go to a friend's, go work out. That's it. But as far as that's like being out a lot, that's not me. So last night I had an opportunity to go out to eat, and of course, you're not eating inside establishments in New York, but we were outside, sitting in the street, and I ordered something I wouldn't normally order. I ordered some lamb chops, right? That's not a big deal, but it just wasn't what I would normally order, right? I decided that in my life right now, I'm in a place where I'm trying new things, right? I'm trying new things. I'm open to new things. I'm exploring new things. And that's important for me, because when you're stepping into a new space, when you're stepping into a new place in your life, you got to open yourself up to the new. Open yourself up to new things, new places, new people, new experiences. All of that is an important part of the journey. And when you watch what God does next, it's not going to look like what he did in the past. When you watch what God does next, it's not going to look like what he did in the past. Like, what he did in the past, he did, right? It was great. It was amazing. It served his purpose. But what he does now is getting ready to absolutely blow your mind. And you can't be mad at people for wanting more, for desiring more, for desiring different even, right? You can't be mad at that. Like, I encourage people, you got to find you. Find you, find your tribe, find where you're celebrated, find that, and in finding that, you'll find a level of peace that will surpass all understanding. First of all, you have to find that for you in you. You have to find that for you and you. So as I look at my life and I look at my journey, I'm reminded of the journey of many people, right? Many people in the Bible, many people that I know. I'm reminded of the journey, that it is a journey, that it's not an instantaneous thing. It's not like you wake up and you're translated there. That's not how it is. It is a constant process. It is an evolution. Evolution requires shedding. If you think about the evolution of a caterpillar, it requires the caterpillar to go into a cocoon. The cocoon is uncomfortable. It is yucky. It is like sticky, but that caterpillar has to be in the cocoon in order to develop the wings that it's going to need to fly. Now, when the caterpillar goes in, the caterpillar can't fly. It's not like you can look at the caterpillar and say, fly, caterpillar, fly. And the caterpillar says, I will fly. I will fly. I'm flying. I'm flying. I'm flying. The caterpillar is not flying. It's still on the ground. It's still, slimy around. But then when it goes into the cocoon, and it gives God the opportunity to begin to shed the things that need to be shed, grow and develop the things that need to be grown in a safe space that's protected, so that it's not so vulnerable, right? Not so vulnerable to be eaten or destroyed, because it's going through its metamorphosis, it's going through its change. But when the time comes for the caterpillar to come out of the cocoon, it has to use the wings that it developed while it was inside the cocoon. Now, the caterpillar's never had wings before, doesn't necessarily know what to do with them, but what the caterpillar does know is it's a very tight space, and now they're feeling real scrunched up. So listen to me. If you're in a space where it's feeling really tight and you're feeling all scrunched up, baby, you've been in a metamorphosis. You've been changing. And now it's time for you to spread your wings so that you can fly. It's really that simple. I say it's simple, but it's still painful because listen, think about this. This caterpillar who's never had wings before, never had legs before, like it literally is like fighting its way out of a cocoon, right? The cocoon is not just soft and easy to get out of. It literally has to break through it, which means that it's got to move with force. If you want to break through where you are right now, you're going to have to move with force. That means that you got to put some oomph into it. You got to put some power behind it. All of that is going to be necessary for you to get through, for you to break out. I'm telling you, watch what God does next. When you break out of the cocoon because you've given the necessary force, you've gone through the transformation required, and you forced your way out. Watch what God does next as you begin to extend those wings you never had before that were inside of you, right? The caterpillar doesn't get new things. Things that were inside the caterpillar simply come out. It's not like God went in and put wings on the caterpillar. The wings and everything necessary for the wings to develop was already inside of that caterpillar. And when the caterpillar allowed God to take it into the cocoon and hide it for a little while, then it was able to develop the wings, fight its way out, and fly. It had to flap. It fell a few times while it was trying to get used to these things that were on the side of it. But then, you guys, when it got the hang of it, it began to just flap and soar and float through the sky and brighten everybody else's world up, because suddenly what used to be a little ugly, caterpillar turned into a beautiful butterfly. And that beautiful butterfly provided beauty for other people as it was flying around, serving its purpose, because its purpose was bigger than it ever knew when it was just on the ground. So you have to be willing to flap your wings. You have to be willing to go into new territories. You have to be willing to be seen. You got to be willing to let other people watch what God does next. There are things that God desires to do in your life. Listen to me. Listen to me. There are things that God desires to do in your life, and He's waiting for you to be willing to fight your way out of the butterfly, out of the cocoon, right? Waiting for you to allow yourself to be the beautiful, magnificent creature that He always knew you would be. Waiting for you. Listen, to get back in place and in position. There's nothing wrong with the time when you have to be in the cocoon. It's necessary. It's the time that God is healing you, mending the broken places, so that when you show up in the world, they are able to see what God is able to do. But don't stay in the cocoon because it's safe. Don't stay in the cocoon because it's warm. Don't stay in the cocoon because it's familiar. It's time for you to take the wings that have been developing while you were in the cocoon and fight your way through the cocoon. That's what they're for. Because guess what? If you stay in the cocoon longer than you're supposed to, you'll die. And some of you are trapped in a cocoon of your own making, and you will not fight your way out because you don't want people to see you. You don't want to be seen. You don't want to be put on display. But do you not know that God created you to be put on display? The handiwork, his workmanship, for the world to see what He's able to do, to see His beauty and what He creates in us, to take every bit of your pain, every bit of your trauma, every bit of your frustration, every loss, every failure, everything, and turn it into something that the world has never seen before, because there's only one you. One. That's it. Only one you. And that one you, there are people waiting on. So listen, I get it. I get it. You were fine being a caterpillar. I get it. I understand. And then some things started happening and it hurt. And it seemed as though you were melting and you found yourself in a cocoon, alone, by yourself, going through stuff that you've never been through before, experiencing things you've never experienced before. Listen, I get it. But baby, you got wings now. Why are you still acting like a caterpillar when you're a whole beautiful butterfly? So it's time for you to let those wings do what they were created to do. Fight their way out so that you can learn how to fly and soar. It's your season. It's your time. It's time for you to rise up and shine. And when I tell you that when you watch what God does next, it will absolutely blow your mind. And it's going to blow the minds of those who counted you out, who thought you were done, who said you were finished, who said you were through, who didn't think you were valuable enough, beautiful enough, strong enough, important enough, able enough. Come on, let's fly. And listen, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of changes that you have to make in how you view yourself. It's like when you are, when a person has always seen themselves as fat, okay, and they lose weight. It's hard for them to see the change, right? It's hard for them to see the transition. And sometimes, even when they look in the mirror, they still see themselves as they were, not as they are. I can remember having really bad acne when I was younger. I would always have acne breakouts, right? And I remember as an adult, when they came out with Proactiv, I was like, oh my God, I need that, right? So I ordered the Proactiv and I tried to use it and it was burning my skin. And God began to minister to me and he said, you're buying things for where you were and not for where you are or where you're going. You don't have the same skin you had then. Why are you trying to treat something that you already passed? And some of you are trying to treat some things that you're already past. You're trying to buy some things now that would have been great then, okay? But you no longer need them, right? It's for someone else. So I need you to get your mind right. Get yourself together and understand that God desires more from you. And listen, can I share a secret with you? It's hard. It is. I would be lying to you if I said it wasn't hard. Like if I told you, oh, it's so easy. See, this is the thing though. We want the people that tell us it's easy, right? Because we're like, yes, it's easy. Then you get into it and you were like, oh, wait, what the? This is not easy, right? I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you it's hard. It hurts. It's going to cost you. You're going to go through some things, but you got it. You can do this. You were built for this. You were built God tough for such a time as this. Well, what will you do? $1 million question. Will you simply watch what God does next in everyone else's life? Or will you watch what God does next in yours and be an active and willing participant in him transferring the greatness that you've seen in others to your view of yourself? Because you're already great, but you don't see it. I made a decision. I made several decisions, right? But God told me that 2020 was going to be my year. And in spite of Corona, in spite of all the other things that are going on, it's been a great year. I've connected with great people. I've been able to do some great things already, and I've been able to help people see themselves, be themselves, become more of who they were already created to be, become more like God in how they show up. You see, it's not just about, well, let me just say it. It's not just about your church life, your prayer life. It's not just about how much of the word that you have memorized. It's about how you show up in the world, how you treat people, It's about how willing you are to pursue those things that God deposited in you. Because you all listen, we focus on sin, right? We focus on the wrong sins, right? So we focus on not um, cussing. Don't cuss. Don't drink. And I'm not even saying cussing is a sin or drinking is a sin, but those are things that we associate with sin. External things. But what about the internal sin? What about the sin of not being as great as God has called you to be? The sin of not being who he made you? The sin of not showing up to help the people that you were created to help? That sin? The sin of potential, but never actualize it. That sin right there. That's the greatest sin that you can commit, because you're failing God on a whole nother level. Because everything he deposited in you for a reason, for a purpose. And it's time for you to let it out and let it shine. And that means that you got to cut some ties. It means that you're going to have to leave the ground. So all those people who are still on the ground, yeah, you love them, but you got to fly. If not, what are you doing? Why are you a whole butterfly walking around on the ground like you're still a caterpillar? No, fly, soar, go, see the world, change the world, and then come back and encourage that next caterpillar. Hey, listen, you won't be a caterpillar always. I know it doesn't seem like it right now, but one day you're going to be a beautiful butterfly. It's going to hurt though. Don't be scared. It's going to be dark, but don't be scared. You're going to be alone, but don't be scared. If you just stay in the process, stay in that safety nest right there as long as you need to, then fight your way out, then you'll be able to fly just like me. I came to tell someone I got my wings and I didn't wait for heaven to get them. I got my wings and I'm flying. I got my wings and you can get your wings too. I got my wings and it cost me, but it was worth it. I got my wings and I want you to get your wings too, so that we can watch what God does next together. There is a word from the Lord, and that word is, watch what I do next in your life. God desires to do it. He wants to do it. But he's waiting for you to give him permission, because he'll never do it without your permission. So this is what you have to say. God, yes. Yes, God. Yes. Yes to whatever you say. Yes to whatever you want to do. Yes. There's a yes that God needs from you that will give him permission to do exactly what he wants to do in you and in the earth, because he does it through you. But be careful, because once you give him the yes. Once you give him the yes, you've given him permission to uproot your life, shake it up, flip it around, so that he can do something new. I'm for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. If you're finally in a place where you're ready to say, okay, God, all right, I don't know what you're doing, but don't do it without me. Paul Morton has a song, Lord, whatever you're doing in this season, don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. And I'm determined that whatever God is doing right now, and whatever he needs me to do, and however he needs me to lay my life on the altar, I will do it, because somebody out there needs to know that just like God has done it, is doing it, and will do it for me, he'll do it for you. I promise you he will. So stop spectating on other people's lives. Stop looking. Stop just being a voyeur. God is not showing you these things for you to just look and to see, but he is showing you so that you can actually go to work and manifest his promises in your life. This is not just a spectator sport. Life is for living, and living is for those who are alive. And death is for the dead. And that's why the scripture says, let the dead bury the dead. You are alive and you still have life to live. And even when you lose people and places and things, y'all listen to me. Even when you lose people and places and things, you must live. You must live. You need to say to yourself, somebody needs to say, I shall live and declare the works of the Lord. I shall live to declare the works of the Lord. I shall live and declare the works of the Lord. So when you see me on the rooftop, when you see me on the streets of New York, when you see me in my $500,000 house, when you hear me say I made over $30,000 during the pandemic, I need you to not hear it from a place of, wow, she did that, or oh, she's bragging. I need you to see it as a sign. I need you to know that God is showing you what is possible. I need you to understand that God wants more for you and your life. God wants you, yes, Mickey, to do life and to do it like you've never done it before, to take chances and to travel and to see and to be and to show up and be present and to impact the lives of other people. And when others don't understand it, so what? So what? Stop being consumed with what other people are going to think and how they're going to feel, and do what God has created you to do, because it is important. Somebody's waiting on you. Somebody is waiting on you to get it, to do it, to manifest it, and to make it happen. At the end of the day, your life can be complaining about everything that's going on, complaining about Corona, complaining about this, complaining about that, complaining about the president, complain. Or your life can be living, impacting, changing, and empowering. All this this weekend, starting Thursday, Sharita and I have been dealing with the BAM bosses, right? It's a whole movement, right? And I've been telling people, listen, there's so much more that God has for you that's inside of you. And I don't want you guys to miss it. I don't want y'all to miss it. I'm running my class back, Corona Proof Income, because it's time, you guys, to just take those things that are inside of you and monetize them. It's time for you to have wealth. Why? Now somebody will say, oh, she's being a prosperity preacher. Absolutely, I am. Because listen, do you not understand that it is those who had prosperity who were able to help people during the coronavirus? When people were not working, they were able to make significant contributions because they had wealth. Now, there were many who may have wanted to do something but couldn't do anything because they weren't on the other side of money. I want you to get on the other side of fear, on the other side of religion, on the other side of money, on the other side of everything that has ever stopped you from doing all of the things that you would do if money were not an issue. And I want you to get there sooner rather than later. What I'm telling you is that you need to watch what God does next, because it's going to blow your mind. I'd love for you to join me on my Corona Proof Income class. Y'all, I'm just telling you, it works. I'm living proof that it works, and it can work for you if you work it. There is no instantaneous anything, right? Everything requires work. You're never going to hear me say it's easy. You're never going to hear me say all you got to do is this and then bam, voila. No, it doesn't work like that, because let me share you something with you. God will never let you get to a place where your character can't keep you. So that means that there are some things that are going to have to fall off of you. Like there's some insecurities that you're going to have to work through before you can get to the other side, because you'll get to the other side and you'll mess it all up. And God is not in the business of doing that, right? So there's some things that you may have to go through during the process. But if you go through the process, if you allow God to do what it is that he desires to do in you and through you, then you're going to be amazed at how that shows up. I did not know I had made over $30,000 because I wasn't tracking my money like that. I just wasn't. I was intent on helping people. That was my whole focus. My focus was helping people tap into their gifts, their talents, becoming the butterflies that they were created to be. They were in a cocoon for a while with me, right? They had been in a cocoon before they came to me. We were in the cocoon. They were in the cocoon. We were working. Come on, y'all, we in the cocoon. And then voila, bam, here we go. They're flying. And I'm watching them fly, and I'm watching them do it, and I'm watching them with their books. I'm watching them with their online courses. I'm watching them speak. I'm watching them do all these things. I'm watching them build their businesses. I'm watching them do it. And I can honestly say that it is so rewarding to me just to be able to say, listen, I had a chance just to whisper a few things to them while they were in the cocoon. But everything that they did, that was already inside of them. You see, I'm not the guru. I'm just a facilitator. My job is to coach you. And when you're ready to give up and stop flapping those wings and pushing your way through, it's my job to say, hey, you tripping. People are waiting on you. You need to come on out. The world is waiting on you to show up. I know it's hard. I get it. I've been there. But you got it. And you can do it. We can't stay in the same place forever and cry and moan and blame everybody else for why we're there. At some point, you got to say, it's my fault I'm here. It's my choices that have me here. And it's going to be my choices that get me out. So let's come out of those cocoons, flap those wings, make it happen, and change some lives, starting with your own. Go to bit.ly/coronaproof income. Register for the free class, you guys. It's going to be Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's going to be Tuesday at 8. So go ahead, register, get set, and let's go. The world, it's waiting for you. Come on, somebody. So get there now so that you can experience it. I love you guys so much. You're amazing. Thank you, Shannon. You're amazing. And it's time for you to be activated. And if you may be that person and you're looking for a coach and you've been trying to find someone to personally coach you through your process, you're ready for some individual attention, you know you got some plans and some goals, you guys hit me up in my inbox. Let me know that you're ready and we can have a session. Let's schedule it. Let's make it happen, because I'm going to tell you something. It's amazing what will happen once you get a plan, get focused, and get to work. Directed energy creates change. So let's direct that energy. I love you guys to life and life more abundant. And remember, watch what God does next. Be blessed.